Good evening, everybody. Let's talk tweets and comments online that aren't always kind.
Yeah, let's talk about a story that unleashed them like hell hath no fury. It was a story covered by the Star Tribune, CNN, Slate, and Time magazine. It was a story about a group of people who gathered right here in the Twin Cities to get a tattoo.
On Tuesday, about 100 people got a couple words permanently affixed to their bodies at Brass Knuckle Tattoo in Uptown. The words they got? Those were the words spoken by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, describing why the Senate silenced Senator Elizabeth Warren.
What he said about her was that she was given reasons, she was told, and nevertheless, she persisted. Every woman I know, regardless of their position in life, regardless of their politics, knows what it is like to be hushed.
Nora McInerney isn't one to stay silent. She got a design for the tattoo and an artist to agree to affix it to the folks' bodies who wanted it. People came in droves, waited hours to get the tattoo. Didn't matter their political party. Each person got it for different reasons. Perhaps it was to persist in his or her field of work. Perhaps it was to persist to end hunger.
Those words, she persisted, mean something different based on your own experience, but they spoke to every person who showed up.
They came, they left. The story was written by the Star Tribune, and then the comments about Nora and anyone else who dared to get that tattoo.
Can they just have the word victim tattooed on their forehead? I'm of the belief that if 3 words are very significant and important to you, and you require these words permanently inked on your body in order to remember them, then you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Comments from strangers sitting at a keyboard, directed at strangers.
I'd be curious to find out how many of these ladies went home to their husbands and how many went home to their cats. Note to self, and probably most hiring managers, steer clear of anybody with this tattoo.
And you know, there is one comment that Nora got this time that she's gotten before.
The ugly get uglier.
We live in a really strange time. A time where, for whatever reason, grown people with a Wi-Fi connection attack each other at will over something that affects them not at all. Nora is no stranger to this. When her husband Aaron died, she published his obituary, one he wrote with her. There were comments on that too. They told her she was ugly, not much to look at. Another time she wrote an essay about men telling women to smile more and they would be prettier. There were comments about that and tweets. They told Nora she should be raped. They told Nora she should watch her back.
I am used to being a woman on the internet. You do open yourself up to the dark heart of the internet, which is anonymous commenting. It's garbage.
Well, that is true. Should it be? I'm sure some of you will call her names just because of this story, because of those tattoos. Maybe you will call her a snowflake. I asked her about that to beat the trolls typing it now. Here's her response.
If being a snowflake means that I am a person who is sensitive to the feelings of other people around me, who is like deeply empathic and affected by the world around me, yes, that is absolutely me.
You know, the big thing I thought when reading some of these comments and knowing the comments that she's gotten before is it feels like it's gotten worse. You know, we are afforded wonderful freedoms in this country. I understand that we do have freedom of speech, but I will never accept or understand the hate that is directed online, and I worry about our children, what they're learning from this kind of behavior.
Well, it's like children. It's a regression. I feel like social media can do so much good sometimes, but oftentimes it's the middle school lunchroom, right? But you can do it even anonymously.
Right.
Why anybody has a problem with a tattoo that someone else gets, I mean, you just keep it to yourself. I don't know.
You can have a problem with the tattoo, but you shouldn't use hate speech, is all I'm saying.
Agreed.